اوكي. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من اهلي. السلام عليكم. Hey, so in this session we'll look at another literary excellence, a literary miracle of the Quran by comparing two places in the Quran mentioning the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam and the angels who visited him. So here I have on the right side of the screen Surah Hud, and on the left side of the screen we have Surah Dhariyat. Surah Hud is Surah number 11, Surah Dhariyat is Surah number 51. So now the angels come to him with the news, and the story goes. So in this Surah Hud chapter 11 verse 69 it says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. You have to focus on وَلَقَدْ جَاءَتْ رُسُلُنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ بِالْبُشْرَى قَالُوا سَلَامًا قَالَ سَلَامًا فَمَا لَبِثَ أَنْ جَاءَ بِعِجْلٍ حَنِيذٍ. Now this word حَنِيذ you have to focus on. The translation I'll put here. And our messengers came unto Ibrahim with good news. They said peace, he answered peace, and delayed not to bring a roasted calf. Now what you have to focus on is this word حَنِيذ. In the Arabic language, it translates here as roasted. However, in the Arabic language, this word has a lot of meanings within it. It means a fat, roasted, freshly roasted, heated. It's a hot calf from which, the thing that drips, the fat or whatever, it's freshly dripping right now, and it has been roasted on those hot rocks. This word encompasses those meanings, right? In the translation it only says roasted. Of course the translation cannot give all the meanings, but the word hanith means a calf, which is the word hanith means includes the word fat, includes the word roasted, includes the word hot, includes the word the fact that the fat is dripping from it and it has been roasted on rocks, right? So many meanings in this word. Now let's go on to verse 51, chapter 51, verse 26 of Surah Dhariyat. Here the story, it says, فَرَاغَ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ فَجَاءَ بِعِجْلٍ سَمِينٍ. Now we'll focus on this word. He went apart unto his housefolk so that they brought a fatted cow. Now imagine a fat calf. Now here he said a roasted calf. Here he says a fat calf. The word fat. By the way, the fat is included in the word hanith, right? In the definition of hanith, we have the word fat. But this is only fat. It's not roasted. It doesn't say it's hot, it's cold, it's roasted. It's just fat. Now, first of all, let's get this out of the way. It gives different description here. It gives different description here. However, both are correct, right? It was fat, but here it only mentions the fact that it was fat, but it was also roasted. Here it mentions all the different dimensions, freshly roasted, it's dripping the fat, it's fat, and all those characteristics, right? Now what we're going to look at is why does the Quran mention hanith here and why samin, and that's what will expose for us the literary beauty of the Quran. Now look at this. It's all in the context. Because you see, hanith, the context in chapter 11, Surah Hud, is all about something that is royal, something that is more honorable, something that is more hospitable, something that is more higher in quality. See, let's see the translation from here. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَتْ رُسُلُنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ بِالْبُشْرَى. And our messengers, focus here, it says our messengers came unto Ibrahim with good news. They said peace, he said answer peace, and delayed not to bring a roasted calf, right? But here he says messengers, right? Now let's go to chapter 51 and go to the previous verse, or the one before it, from where the story begins. Has the story of Abraham's honored guests reached you? Here it says messengers came unto Ibrahim. Here it says guests, which is more higher in quality or status, simply guests, or which is more specific, right? Any guests or type of guests, messengers, it's more specific, and they're messengers, right? It's specified. Likewise, it says they entered onto him, and he said peace, and they answered peace, folk unknown to him, right? Here it says they came with good news, right? It's something good. See, again, there is more specificity. Here it's something unknown. So what I'm trying to show you is that in chapter number 11 there is more specificity, and it's something of a very higher quality, right? More honor and more high quality, and more hospitable. Then in chapter Hud, we have it says he hurried. It says he delayed not. He hurried to bring a roasted calf. Here it doesn't say that. It doesn't mention that, right? So if you look at it, this is of a higher quality. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions messengers, good news, he delayed not, so it was more linguistically accurate to mention a roasted, freshly cooked, hot hanith, basically the word hanith, a roasted, freshly cooked, hot, dripping with fat. It was more suitable, subhanallah. And here where it mentions simply guests, doesn't specify what type of guests these are, and it just says they enter upon him and they were unknown people to him. And so it was more appropriate to mention simply a fat calf. It didn't say it was roasted, it was hot, it was freshly cooked. It just says a fat calf. So subhanallah, how linguistically precise and deep the Qur'an is, that according to the context of what's being told, it uses the correct and contextually right words. Subhanallah, how amazing is that? Where it basically follows the rule of suitability. Wherever the word is suitable, it uses it in that context. It takes care of the context being used. Subhanallah, how precise is that, right? So this was an amazing linguistic brilliance of the Quran once again. So inshallah we'll continue the series. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.